What up, just for you? As always, hope all is well. And, questions, concerns, whatever, please leave them in the comments. Please like, share the video. Thank you. What are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about perspective. I mentioned that in the other video was perspective. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good topic. Perspective is everything. Basically, how you see stuff will make or break. Perspective is everything sometimes. And it's funny, like, I can have a very amazingly positive perspective on just about everybody else's situation outside of my own. Probably because I'm in the trenches, and that's why I say sometimes it's very difficult when you're in a situation to step out of it and look at it from the outside looking in, so you can see it from every angle. But yeah, perspective is everything, man. How you see stuff is everything. That includes yourself. How do I see the world? How do I see myself? How do I see myself interacting with the world? How do I see this situation? How do I see myself interacting with this situation? How do I see this person? How do I, that's all perspective. We all know somebody that we don't personally like, but one of our good friends does, and we're like, how do you like that person? Why are y'all so tight? I mean, I don't got no problem with him, but we'll never be that tight. Like, perspective. One person can look at, an empty house and a bunch of lots and trees and all this trash and be like, and he could just see a mansion on it, and the other person is like, he just sees a waste of time. It literally is all in perspective. I was blessed to kind of have a very unorthodox perspective in many aspects. It's probably why I'm kind of weird. But it does give me the ability to see things from many different angles. I usually don't make too many bad decisions in life. Usually most of my decisions have been pretty good. That doesn't mean that they made me rich or anything, but they weren't like, that was a dumb choice. I mean, I've made them, trust me, we've all made them. But generally, in my analyzation and how I see things, I usually don't make too many bad decisions or, just get stuck too often. A lot of times I just end up stopping my own grind and then just moving to something else, and I jump ship too quick. That's usually my problem. But yeah, sometimes you gotta change your perspective. It's hard to change your perspective because that's kind of how you see things and how your habits and mannerisms all kind of build how you see things. Usually a change changes your perspective. What also changes perspective is other people's opinions. And I don't mean go to the public, and what I mean by that is, hey, I have a problem. This is what's going on. Let me post it on Facebook. Now you're not going to get other people's perspectives. You're going to get a whole bunch of people's opinions. Have a few tight people in your group. You could have one person. I talk to, I'm going to tell you how many people I talk to. I have a very, 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 very small, close-knit circle. It's less than 10. And I have some really great friends. And we don't talk all the time. But I can call them if I need something at the drop of a dime, and they're always there for me. And I don't be like, hey, man, I need some money. I'm not saying they wouldn't. I've never asked my friends for money. But I mean, real life situations like, bro, I'm stressing over this. Like, man, I got this. I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. What do you think, man? And they'll just give me and just look at it and they'll analyze it and they'll give me their opinion. And then usually if that's the case, we have our mind made up on certain things, so we're going to argue them about that point. And sometimes they're valid, sometimes they're not. I like to think with myself, a lot of times my arguments are valid because I look at challenges that may pop up and I'm like, okay, so if this happens, how do I get over this? When this happens, I got to be ready for this. If we go left, make sure we have this in place in case that goes bad. And I tend to overanalyze stuff. But I'll have deep conversation with some friends and we'll just go in and out, conversation, but generally about the same topic. And it'll just give me another angle on how to look at stuff. I'll be, you know what, man, you're right. I didn't see it like that. I didn't, I looked at this as a problem. You looked at it as a stepping stone. You're like, okay, you know what? Bet. I like that. Let me try that out. Let me run with that. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'm like, you know what? I see where you're going. That's not going to work because, and if you're going to down someone's opinion because you're asking them for help, don't down their opinion because you don't want to hear it. Disagree with their opinion because it's not going to work and you've tried it and you know that for a fact. Hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. Man, I can't do that right now. Why? Because what you're talking about out here is going to cost about 20 grand and I don't have the money for it. That I need more cash for. Or something specific. There has to be an actual legit reason why that scenario or that plan of action is not going to work. Because we'll make those up on our heads all the time. It usually comes to money and time, but a lot of times it ain't that much money as we need. It's not as much time as we really need. But yeah, you got to keep your perspective open. You can train yourself to think outside of the box. A lot of times, they made a bumper sticker out of it a while ago. It was real popular. What would Jesus do? And I'm not saying think of everything as Jesus, but what would, I got a real successful friend who's good at this, yada, yada. What would they do? What would my mom do? What would my brother do? What would my friend do? Put yourself in other people's situations and kind of think as them. People that you trust, who have proven that, hey man, if I got an issue, these people make good decisions. Put yourself in their shoes and think of it as them, and that'll probably give you a different perspective on how to analyze a situation. Sometimes you're stuck between a rock, a hard place, and a wall. And you got to pick the lesser of three evils. That's life. Sorry. If that hasn't happened to you, it will. Be prepared. But yeah, perspective is big, man. Perspective is big. And I'm not telling you to change your perspective because that's, like I said, that's almost impossible to do, to change how you think and see things like that. But hopefully you can kind of be more mindful of making yourself aware of it. So I can't change my mind, but if I'm more mindful of, man, I usually tend to go this way when stuff happens. You know what, Ryan? Let me take a step back. You know what? Call your sister. See what your sister says. You ain't got to tell them all nitty-gritty details about it, but just run them. Hey, I got an idea. What about this? What do you think? If you're thinking of a business, you may not want to talk to someone who's worked at a factory their entire life and does not believe in entrepreneurship. You may want to talk to somebody who has that mindset. Especially if you want to create something. You want to create something? Talk to a creator. Because you may have an idea, but they're going to look at it from a different aspect and be like, ooh, use this, ping, 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 and then you're good to go. And you'd be like, wow, I never even really thought about putting those pieces together that way. So, that's it. Perspective, man. Be on the lookout. Till next time, just for you.